Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, friends. Good evening to all of you. I have a great pleasure in welcoming you all. Friends, as you all know, the whole world is passing through an unprecedented, difficult time as a result of COVID-19 breakout. No one is spared. Friends, let me tell you that you all are always in our prayers to God to save us all. Coupled with COVID-19, second big trouble is its impact on economy and how to preserve financial stability. Health and wealth are the two most important things in a person's life. No doubt, health comes first, but the wealth is no less important, because when we imagine health without wealth, that also doesn't give us a good feel. Friends, we are here today for your financial stability. I have been told that 175 audience has already joined us, guests have already joined us. So we are here today for your financial stability and to decipher how to achieve and maintain it during these difficult times. ASSOCHAM, we did our first mutual fund conference in 2000, and since then we are committed to mutual fund industry for awareness for all its stakeholders. Today, we have with us a panel of esteemed experts, and to start with, Mr. Nilesh Shah, Chairman AMFI, MD Kotak Mahindra AMC Limited. He will join in few minutes, but we wanted to start on time, so that's why we have started. Then we have Mr. Kalpen Parekh, President DSP Investment Management Private Limited. Mr. Ashish Somaiya, MD and CEO Motilal Oswal AMC Limited. The photo which we put on the flyer and the actual Mr. Somaiya, they look a little different. Mr. Somaiya will explain why he looks different than his photo. Mr. Love Chaturvedi, ED and CEO Reliance Securities, and my dear friend Mr. S.C. Agarwal, Chairman and Managing Director of SMC Global Securities Limited. We warmly welcome each one of you, and we really appreciate that you have spared. Nilesh bhai, aap aa gaye?
Yes, Mr. Jindal, I'm in.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
I just introduced you and I told them कि मैं ही जानना चाहता था आपसे कि अगर आप म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री में ना होते या एमपी चेयरमैन ना होते तो क्या होते, तो मेरे मन में एक ख्याल था शायद आप क्रिकेटर ही होते थे। आपके सारे एग्जांपल्स जो होते हैं वो क्रिकेट को लेकर के आप एग्जांपल इतना बढ़िया सटीक तरीके से समझाते हैं कि सब क्लियर हो जाता है लोगों को। So friends, we warmly welcome all the speakers and thank them for being with us, for their gracious presence and agreeing to share their wisdom with us. Format will be like this. Mr. Nilesh Shah has some meeting at 4:30 around. So first of all, I'll request him to make an opening remark to start the session, and then in between, when Mr. Nilesh Shah would like to leave in between at around 4:30 or so, then we'll carry on with the thing, and Mr. Nilesh Shah will join us back at 5 o'clock. Is it right, Mr. Nilesh Shah?
Yes, yes.
Or you have changed your mind and you don't leave us?
No, sir, it's not my mind, it is someone else's mind which I have to change.
No, perfect. It's perfectly all right. कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं जिनके लिए वेट करने में भी मजा आता है, और आप उन्हीं में से है। तो नीलेश भाई, मैं आपसे गुजारिश करूंगा, अब तक जो हुआ सो हुआ, यहां से आगे क्या, अब और खराब ना होने देना। आप हमें बताएं कैसे संभालना है इसको। मैं पहले यही कह रहा था कि हेल्थ और वेल्थ दो ही चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट होती है आदमी की लाइफ में। तो दो में से कोई एक आप जो भी आप संभालना चाहें वो आज संभाल दीजिएगा, और दूसरी को फिर हम देख लेंगे। या तो कोविड संभाल दीजिएगा, और या ये जो वेल्थ का ये जो स्टेबिलिटी है ये संभाल दीजिएगा। ऑप्शन आपका है। So we are all yes. Friends, we welcome Mr. Nilesh Shah to give his opening remark.
Thank you, Mr. Jindal. It's an honor to be part of this panel discussion. And my apologies for a bit delayed entry. This is the most unprecedented crisis of our lifetime. We have seen medical crises like SARS, bird flu, swine flu. We have seen financial crisis like 97 Asian crisis, 2008 subprime crisis. But we have never witnessed a perfect storm where medical crisis shuts economic activity, that creates economic crisis, and that in turn blows into financial market. So we are witnessing through one of the most challenging time ever witnessed in human history. Let's just say this is na bhuto na bhavishyati event. We haven't seen anything like this in the past, and hopefully we will not see anything like this in the future. This is one small chart which explains how these things will shape up. On x-axis is medical solution, early to late. Y-axis is fiscal to monetary stimulus, high to low. In the most fortunate scenario, we will have early medical solution and will have Rohit Sharma's betting equivalent fiscal and monetary stimulus. In that scenario, we will go down sharply, but we will come back quickly. The most unfortunate scenario will be where medical solution emerges very, very late, and fiscal and monetary stimulus between RBI and government is like Joffrey boycotts betting, very, very slow. In that scenario, recovery will be like L-shaped. We will go down sharply, but we will take time to recover. The intersection of medical solution and financial and monetary stimulus will determine when will our market stabilize, when will our economy bottom out. Today, if we see the market is looking like this going up, and economy is looking like this coming down sharply. Clearly, to many investors, there is a disconnect between market and economy. I've tried to do a very small back of the envelope childish calculation about loss of GDP because of this lockdown. Our GDP is about $3 trillion. If we remain shut for a month with 100% drop in activity, that's about $250 billion output loss. At 50%, that's about $125 billion output loss. We are likely to be shut for 45 days. So that's $190 billion, assuming that we'll all open up on 17th of May. Now, economy is not like power that you can switch on and switch off easily. So there is going to be a massive cost of restarting the economy. So roughly government has to cover $190 billion in output loss plus whatever is the cost of restarting. Now, oil prices will benefit our economy by $40 to $45 billion this year. If we replace made in India, made in China goods with made in India goods, it can help save about $20 billion. So effectively, we are looking at net $130 billion output loss for 45 days of lockdown, plus whatever is the cost of restarting the economy. There are only three ways of covering up this cost: foreign direct investment, fiscal stimulus, and monetary stimulus. On the fiscal stimulus side, I believe something should be coming very quickly. This rumor has been going around for last couple of weeks, and earlier the better for fiscal stimulus. There are businesses which will require fiscal subsidy, fiscal support, and which is where the stimulus is necessary. On the monetary stimulus side, RBI has taken lots of steps. They have cut rates, they have improved liquidity, but they now need to ensure that liquidity moves from banks to borrowers. Banks yesterday were sitting on 8,40,000 crore of cash, and there were so many borrowers who were interested in borrowing money. Policy rates have been cut on repo and reverse repo side, but it was not yet reflected into borrowers' account. Fortunately, with RBI's intervention, 10-year yield now has crossed below 6%, and soon it should start getting reflected into borrowers' account as well. The final point where we have to focus is foreign direct investment. And yesterday we saw UP announcing basically withdrawal of all labor laws for a period of 3 years. My feeling is that many other states will follow on this. Today we have a great advantage in terms of our image vis-a-vis global investors. China is reflected as a country which gave Wuhan virus to the world. India is a country which is giving hydroxychloroquine tablet to the world. एक दर्द दे रहा है, दूसरा दवाई दे रहा है, एक जख्म लगा रहा है, दूसरा मरहम लगा रहा है. Now this goodwill we have to encash, and that goodwill we have to encash through both foreign portfolio investment as well as foreign direct investment. On foreign portfolio investment side, Government of India Finance Ministry has done an excellent job in convincing MSCI and FTSE Russell to increase India's weightage. We were going to see about 30% reduction in India's weightage, and from there they have negotiated, and we are going to see increase in India's weightage between 8% to 17%. From here till 31st August, this can bring anywhere between $3 to $7 billion of inflows. And this is probably one of the reasons why market bounced back from 7,600 Nifty. So we are doing well to capture foreign portfolio investment on the equity side. We have taken certain steps to capture this on the debt side as well by opening our limits in government securities. But the real game changer is foreign direct investment. In 1980, India and China were of similar size. China became manufacturer to the world. We were behind March. Today, companies would like to move away from China for supply chain diversification as well as for political reasons. There is a severe competition. Vietnam, Korea, Thailand, Bangladesh, everyone is competing against them. But we are the only country which can give access to 1.36 billion consumer market. All our competitors put together does not have that large market. Plus, we have goodwill of exporting medicines when the world was in crisis. We have to ensure that we target these companies and we bring them and settle them in India. Our track record of last 30 years has not been that good. But there are few exceptions. Tata Motors was getting uprooted from Singur. They were settled in Sanand through a SMS of Suswagatam. Land was given, environmental approvals were ready, infrastructure development happened, power connection was given. Essentially, state 24/7 to ensure that Nano Motors started rolling out of factory in about 18 months' time. If we can bring the same focus, if we can bring the same agility and speed in bringing companies out of China to India, this will be the biggest advantage of coronavirus crisis. Let me just give an example of how important this is for India. Samsung came to India long before it went to Vietnam. Samsung's turnover in India is about $10 to $12 billion. This is despite coming early into India and making TV, fridge, AC, mobile phone, everything and selling in India. They went much later to Vietnam, but they started making in Vietnam for selling all over the world. Today, their turnover in Vietnam is $62 billion. Vietnam's size is 1/10 of India. And in that economy, Samsung has 6 times more turnover than India. Samsung contributes 28% of GDP to Vietnam. Over last decade or so, Vietnam is considered miracle economy. The real magic behind that miracle is Samsung, which contributes 28% of GDP. Samsung contributes more to Vietnam's GDP than contributes to India's GDP. That's the potential of this large companies. We must bring them from China to India. We must Tata Motors was settled in Sanand, and we must encourage them and help them flourish like Vietnam did with Samsung. If we do that, my feeling is that we can be rest assured for growth for years to come, and that will be reflected into our market. Essentially, if I have to summarize on the economic side, this is one of the most challenging period. We are going through unprecedented crisis. While there are some benefits of lower oil prices and lower trade deficit, our biggest opportunity lies in encashing our goodwill and getting capital from foreigners to augment domestic savings so that growth can be accelerated. Foreign portfolio investment in equity as well as debt, and foreign direct investment through bringing supply chains from China to India will help us cover the losses or minimize the damage caused by coronavirus crisis. If economy does well, eventually market will also start doing well. My peers Kalpen and Ashish will be in a position to guide you on the market side. With this, I will end my talk, Mr. Jindal.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to receiving you back as promised by you. And then we are thankful to you for your friends, for your team, and agreeing to be with us this evening. Thank you very much. We have some questions for you, but you come back and we'll put the questions to you.
Yes, I'll be back by 4:45, 4:50.
Okay, thank you. Kalpen ji, now I would like to request you for your opening remarks, and then we'll take it forward with questions and in the end. So please share your opening remarks with us, and what is your perception about the current situation, health and wealth, how to handle them both, and if it is, what is the best way to take them forward?
Okay, first of all, thank you for inviting me, and it's an honor where Nilesh told me that I'm his peer. Actually, I'm his junior, and 12 years back, he was my boss. So when he called me that you have to be a part of this panel, I didn't ask him anything. I said, okay, if you call me, I have to be there. So that's how I'm here. Having heard the broad top-down perspective that Nilesh has given, I will try to focus on what can I do as an individual with my wealth and money, because there are three different scenarios at any point in time, whether COVID हो या ना हो, इन्वेस्टमेंट में हमेशा तीन डायरेक्शन होती है, मार्केट ऊपर जाता है, मार्केट्स फ्लैट रहता है, या मार्केट नीचे जाती है. ये तीन ही सिनेरियो, इसके अलावा और कोई सिनेरियो नहीं है. And generally in the long term markets go up. So my take here is that we are in a 50-50 environment. On one hand, दुनिया भर में interest rates are at almost zero rates, and in many countries they are negative. And there is talk that in the largest economy, which is in US, they want to bring rates down further negative and infuse trillions of dollars of more liquidity. Last week again, the Fed is talking to the government, and the government is taking it in the house to do as much stimulus as 6 times more than what they had done in 2008. So my view is that जब Indian markets ऊपर या नीचे जाते हैं, तो काफी हद तक इसमें impact होता है बाहर की liquidity का, because आज भी almost 30% of our free float, 25% of our free float is owned by foreign investors. So that is a positive flow right now. So that is a dimension which is in our favor, that there's a lot of ample liquidity at very low rates. So if India is able to put in place few of the things that Nilesh mentioned, there is a reasonable chance of that excess liquidity coming to India. और फिर इकोनॉमी अच्छी करे या ना करे वो सेकेंडरी हो जाता है. अगर फ्लो हमारे फेवर में है, अगर लिक्विडिटी हमारे फेवर में है, तो उस phase में fundamentals matter नहीं करते हैं. So that's one scenario that is likely to happen, which is what in the last 1 month also markets have run up world over. 25 से 30% से investments have gone up, returns have gone up. The other scenario is that while there's a lot of hope that stimulus will be announced, what tends to happen at times is markets react to rumors and react to news very differently. So once the news happens, today the market is expecting something and hence prices are going up. But once the event happens, people may now say, okay, now let me take some money out. And that could lead to a lot of selling by existing investors. So my perception or my understanding right now is that markets will fluctuate. They will go up, they will go down. Very difficult to determine the near-term direction. In the long run, what is beneficial today is that stock prices of good companies are now becoming reasonable. Stock prices were a bit irrational for the last 2-3 years because this easy liquidity was chasing stocks, and whether the economy was doing well or not, itna paisa aa raha tha that stock prices were just moving up and up. So they have now normalized, which I think as an investor to me gives more comfort to build my portfolio, to invest my portfolio for the next 5 or 10 years. So if I have time horizon on my side, and in my view, a large part of India still is young India, where they are earning their monthly salaries and they have a long runway because of us being a young country. So for that set of investors, this correction of the last 3 months and maybe of the next few months is an opportunity, and that's how one should look at it. But every Indian is not the same. सबकी ज़रूरतें अलग है, सबके time horizons अलग है. There are enough investors who have already invested in the market, but have seen their portfolios correct by 10 to 20% depending on how they've invested, and that is something that those investors have to really worry about. That how do they really plan their cash flows in the next 1 or 2 years? So I think we'll have to look at our time horizons and then decide how to manage our wealth. Health ke liye, all of us know what we need to do, which is social distancing. If you apply the same principle for wealth, the same distancing from noise in the market, volatility in the market is important. So I keep telling people that for health, we need to wear masks and gloves on our face. For wealth, we'll have to wear masks on our eyes and ears also at times and stay away from the day-to-day noise and volatility. Also, this is the first time we are all sitting at home, so we have a lot of free time in some way, and hence on WhatsApp group, on all other forms of social media, there's a lot of noise that keeps coming to us, which makes us then react that what do I do with my current wealth? Do I sell? Do I get out? So my advice to myself and to all my friends and to all of you who are here is a very simple thumb rule of long-term wealth creation is कि अगर अच्छी कंपनी को अच्छे प्राइस पे खरीद के अच्छे समय तक अगर हमने उसको पकड़ के रहा, ये वेल्थ क्रिएशन का बहुत सिंपल फॉर्मूला है. अच्छे टाइम के लिए रखना ये हमारे हाथ में है. अच्छा भाव बाजार दे रहा है हमको जो पिछले 1-2 साल में नहीं मिल रहा था. So today we are getting that opportunity. So a lot of it is now going to be our discipline of how we deal with money. And in that context, I would say that give time to investments, take advantage of this volatility. Once in 10 years, do we get prices like this? Once in 10 years. So what happens is generally 10 साल की investment के journey में 9 साल तक हम हमेशा बोलते हैं कि यार मार्केट बहुत ऊपर जा रहा है, मार्केट सस्ता नहीं है, हमें इन्वेस्ट करने का चांस नहीं मिल रहा है. और ये 10वां साल होता है जब हमें पूरा चांस मिलता है. लेकिन ऐसे टाइम पे एनवायरमेंट इतना नेगेटिव होता है कि हिम्मत नहीं होती है. तो ये टाइम है हिम्मत दिखा के डिसिप्लिन के साथ हर महीने धीरे धीरे अपना पोर्टफोलियो बिल्ड करके लंबे समय के लिए इसको दूर छोड़ देना है. और दैट्स हाउ वन कैन नेविगेट हाउ वी कैन प्लान आवर वेल्थ. थैंक यू.
Kalpen ji, how many years you have been in investment industry?
Around 20 years.
20?
Yeah.
Great. Good number of years. 20 is a good number of years. And
Yeah.
that is how your mature thoughts on the subject, that this is the real time to invest in and build your portfolio. Great. So we'll come back to you with question little later. And now Ashish ji, first question first. How do you explain the picture and your real face? and then your perception about the markets.
No, actually, that picture is slightly old, but I am in front of you live, and rightly or wrongly, this is how it is now. I think picture is old. I think picture is a bit old.
Okay.
But thank you
Yeah.
for having me here. Thank you for having me here. It is my pleasure. So what I'll do is that, I'll just share a few pointers about the way I am visualizing things right now. And Kalpen and Nilesh have already mentioned few things, and then I have further fellow speakers who will be speaking. I think that there are 2 or 3 things which I'm most enthusiastic about, which I have noticed in the last 6 weeks. If you see the reports from most of the equity broking houses, like for example on social media or on the news, you hear that large brokers like say Zerodha or say my parent company like Motilal Oswal, and I'm sure Mr. Agarwal also must have noticed in his firm, and even the likes of ICICI Securities, even Mr. Chaturvedi would have observed it because they are from the broking industry. A lot of data which is being mentioned clearly shows that the equity broking industry is seeing a record number of account openings in March, and most importantly, I think April has specifically been a record month for the industry in terms of the new people who are joining, who are opening accounts and who are joining the equity investing space. So just the way Kalpen mentioned, I am quite enthusiastic, and I can see that people are really, whatever he said, people seem to be noticing it, and people seem to be taking it seriously. Because normally speaking, we have seen these cycles 3 or 4 times in the past. I have seen very different reaction of people when the market actually goes down. It's very clear that till say 15th February, if your portfolio was 100 rupees, on 23rd March, that 100 rupees could have become as bad as 70 or 65 or 75, depending on this mid cap, large cap, financial, non-financial, whatever it may be. But whenever you see this 30-35% kind of sharp fall in 1 month, a lot of people may not remember in May 2006, the mid cap index fell 40% in 1 month. And we all remember what happened in Lehman crisis. I don't know how many people remember in August 2013, the Nifty tanked by a very large number. For example, just for perspective, in the peak of 2008, Nifty was above 6,000, and I distinctly remember that in August 2013, after full 5.5 to 6 years, also Nifty was at 5,200. So we have seen very disastrous situations in the stock market. Once in every 5 to 10 years, it really makes us question that why are people even investing in the stock market? Because ek taraf to we see all these stories that 10,000 रुपया विप्रो में लगाते तो 500, 600, 700 करोड़ रुपया बन जाता. इस तरीके का जो folklore, जो कथाएं हम सुनते हैं, this is what we have been hearing. But once in every 5-10 years, ऐसा माहौल आता है that people would actually start questioning कि भाई ये सब तो केवल कथाएं ही है, ये लोगों के पोर्टफोलियो में होता होगा, हमारे पोर्टफोलियो में तो नहीं होता है. So these kind of things, this skepticism comes once in every 5 to 10 years. And I have seen that whenever there is a height of skepticism, from whenever the rear view mirror looks absolutely disastrous, from that point onwards, the windscreen starts to look much better. And I think somewhere what Kalpen has been mentioning is related to these kind of occurrences in the stock market. But this time, like I mentioned before, and my colleagues from the broking industry will have better statistics than me, this time around the behavior of Indian investors is definitely far more mature, far more stable. I'm not saying that people are not concerned or should not be concerned about the market value of their investments. Of course, I'm myself an investor. I'm not talking right from just the air. For example, culturally, Motilal Oswal, where we manage 40,000 crores of equity in our different portfolios, almost 2,500 crores is our own money, which is the group's money and the promoters and founders' money. So I'm not just saying as a market fellow or a market participant, I'm saying this as a fellow co-investor also. And what I can see is that people's reaction to the market has become far more mature. Like I said, people are concerned But what I have seen panic in 2002, 2003, or what I've seen the panic in 2008, 2009, that kind of panic is just not there. And I think I should, compliment. A lot of your listeners are also investors, and we should compliment the normal investor for this kind of maturity levels. And this is not just related only to equity broking. I run a mutual fund, Kalpin runs a mutual fund. You see, the Association of Mutual Funds has just released the data for what kind of equity inflows have come into mutual funds in the month of April. In the month of March, we had nearly 11,000 crores of net inflow, meaning the purchase minus redemption of normal mutual fund investors in March was 11,000 crores. And even in the month of April, so after having such a rude shock in March, you would expect that in April the numbers would change. But the fact is that in the month of April also there is more than 6,000 crores of net inflow which has come in from domestic investors. In the past, what I've seen, I'll just give you an example. In 2008, when the Lehman crisis happened, India had an outflow of $12 billion from FIIs. And when FIIs sell so much, they own almost 25% of our total market value. When they sell so much in huge volumes, our market also declines. And because of that decline, our people also start panicking and their flow also becomes negative. So 2008, 9, 10, 11, I have extensively seen years when the net inflow of Indian investors is negative. And we used to follow the FII trends. But now in this year, what I've seen is that even though FIIs have been selling, Indian investors have more disciplined fashion. Consistently, they have been committing to equities. And this is clearly manifested in the numbers released by the broking participants and also manifested by the numbers released from our own association, that is the Association of Mutual Funds. So my sense is that there is a new generation. Of course, there is an experienced generation of investors who's putting all their experience and understanding that these are the times to commit more. But I'm also enthusiastic that a large number of investors who are entering young, every day, every month into the industry, although their last 2-3 years experience is not good, it is quite encouraging to note that they are still staying the course. And my sense is that that behavior will ultimately result that in the next 2 to 3 years we'll have a huge crop of very, very successful investors in the market. Because it's very, very important that people don't just come when the cycle looks good. I think maximum money is made by people who live through the entire cycle. And I think this kind of steadfastness, in terms of regular investing, clearly shows that people are going to have a great experience through the entire cycle. So that's one positive part. Second thing, since I mentioned about FII flows, I just want to share a couple of insights out here. What I've seen is that our lockdown was announced on 23rd of March, and at that time we had just about 500 cases of the coronavirus in India. The interesting part is that even before the lockdown was announced and even before the virus became a serious issue for us, our Nifty was 40% down. And actually, when the virus started to accelerate, and actually when the lockdown is now 6 weeks, so before the lockdown we were 40% down, and after the lockdown started, from that level we were 25% actually appreciated. What is the reason for this kind of dichotomous behavior? The interesting part is that when Lehman crisis happened in 2008, it did not matter whether you are US where Lehman was actually domiciled. It did not matter whether you are Korea, China, India, or Taiwan. In 2008, when the panic happened, every market was 50 to 60% down. And the same pattern has been exhibited this time also. In 2020, when this corona is played out, it doesn't matter whether you're Korea who has some control on the virus. It doesn't matter whether you're Europe or US who seems to have no control on the virus. And doesn't matter if you're India, because we are not as bad as Europe or US, but we are definitely not as clean cut as Korea or Taiwan. But you know what? In Lehman crisis, every market was 50 to 60% down. In Corona crisis, every market was 30 to 40% down in the first fall. Why I'm telling you this is because a lot of our listeners, it's very normal for you to think that am I in the right fund? Am I in the right sector? Am I with the right manager? Am I holding the right stocks? Look, this is not about your portfolio, my portfolio, your sector or my sector. This seems to be a global phenomena. And right now, the right question to ask is not whether I'm in the right fund or the right portfolio. Maybe the right question to ask is, am I on the right planet in the right asset class? Because when there is panic, people lose their ability to differentiate. Investors lose their ability to be discerning about what will work and what will not work. But you know what? When the dust settles, then people learn to differentiate. So in 2008, in the first fall, we were 50-60% down on the index. We lost $12 billion. I don't know how many people remember when the dust settled and people got back their ability to differentiate, meaning that what is the impact on each economy? What is the impact on each country? So what happened is 2008, when there was panic, we lost $12 billion, our market fell 50%. In 2009 and 2010, we got back $48 billion of FII flow. जब निकलना था 12 बिलियन निकला, आया तो 48 बिलियन वापस आया. And mind you, in the last 10 years, there has never been any single year, never been a pair of years where we have seen this kind of FII flow ever after that. So what happens is that when the dust settles, people will realize that countries like India, we are impacted. 1% GDP growth and 2% GDP growth, these conversations are disastrous for us. But rightly or wrongly, markets work on relative basis. So what happens is that, what is how much are we dependent on exports? How much are we dependent on foreign capital? What is our gearing to oil and commodities? What is our gearing to these capital flows? When US economy is doing fabulously well and their markets are booming, they attracted a lot of flow. So 2015, 16, 17, we got no flows. But when US economy is kind of slowing down, when the interest rates globally are zero, liquidity is awash, then what kind of flows we can get? These equations will change. So my sense is right now there is panic. It will remain that way for next 3 to 4 months. In next 3 to 4 months, we will also know what is the exact impact on our economy. And but I think that net, when market regains its ability to be discerning and differentiate, then things will look very different. One just last parting thought: all the people who are investing in the market, they are very, very preoccupied to think that कल क्या होगा, अगले हफ्ते क्या होगा, 2 महीने क्या होगा, 3 महीने क्या होगा. I have actually stopped thinking about what will happen to my portfolio in next 2 to 3 months. Nowadays, I'm trying to think more on the lines of what will happen when the dust settles. Because my past experience tells me eventually the dust will settle and then we will have to see the lay of the land. So I think what Nilesh said is very, very important, that when the dust settles, banks will be pushed to lend or banks will be desperate to lend, because there is massive liquidity and nowhere to deploy and the rates are very low. So banks have to lend. If they have to keep NPAs under control, if they have to grow their NIMs, they have no choice but to lend. And I think the biggest instrument or biggest weapon with our powers that be right now is that there is massive liquidity and very low interest rates, and inflation is not a concern at all. So I think that when we get on the other side of the tunnel, interest rates will be very low, liquidity will be very high, and a lot of the discretionary spend which depends on credit availability and low interest rates, I think some of those things will bounce back. So just like we extrapolate the good times, right now I'm sure everybody is busy extrapolating the bad times, but that's not how the world works. Eventually the dust will settle and we'll be in a different place altogether. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish ji. I have 2 questions, quick questions. One, you said that you have stopped thinking about your portfolio. You take any medicine for that?
I'll tell you on a lighter note. I tell you recently,
yes.
I have stopped looking at it because I know that by me looking at it, nothing will change. And recently there was, somebody told me.
Yes, tell me.
Somebody told me recently there was World Password Day. And that guy my colleague was making a creative that कि sir World Password Day है, तो आप क्या बोलना चाहते हैं लोगों को? I said ऐसे माहौल में अपने सारे ऐप के पासवर्ड भूल जाओगे तो पोर्टफोलियो सेफ रहेगा आपका.
Second thing I wanted to know, you said that this time you find that your investors are very mature. They have behaved in a very matured way.
जी sir.
You have said this for only equity investors or debt investors also?
No, No, sir, I was definitely alluding to equity investors, but I think even in the fixed income market, there have been this liquidity tightness and credit concerns. Last 2 years has been a series of concerns. I think it's not been easy, but still, if I see the amount of resilience, I'm not happy with the experiences that investors are going through, and I'm part of the industry. So definitely, it is for all of us to be mindful about. But I just feel that there is a lot more understanding right now and more resilience right now as compared to maybe 15, 20 years back, because all these incidences are not happening for the first time in the capital markets.
Hmm. Motilal Oswal is always known for equity only. You don't have any debt thing, no? Or you have in
No,
debt
we just
investments?
manage. No, we just
No.
manage, we just manage liquid funds because people want to move in and out of equity, but otherwise we don't have debt offerings.
But I find that in the debt, in the last few days, last few weeks, there has been a lot of panic.
Yeah.
And a lot of disinvestments, lot of redemptions, which is quite disturbing. So that is another thing which needs serious consideration and restructuring sort of thing.
Of course.
We'll get back to that. And now
Yes.
I'll request Mr. Love Chaturvedi. Mr. Love Chaturvedi is having, Mr. Ashish, how many years experience you have in debt industry, investment industry?
It's this month exactly 20 years.
So we are celebrating 20 years now. Very good. Mr. Love Chaturvedi has spent how many? 5? 20?
What's that? What is that?
How many years you have been in?
Yeah, in the industry? Yeah, more than 20.
More than 20. Okay, let's hear your opening remarks and what do you feel about the current situation? Mr. Love Chaturvedi is ED and CEO of Reliance Securities and has a wonderful experience of more than 20 years now. So we are ready to hear you, Mr. Love Chaturvedi.
Thank you, Mr. Jindal, and to my eminent panelist. Thank you so much for inviting me today. It was great listening to Mr. Shah, Mr. Parekh, and Mr. Somaya about their experiences and last 60 to 80 collective years of experiences, and which are the need of an hours in this crisis, which is probably, as Mr. Shah rightly said, na bhuto na bhavishyati. Hopefully, never ever in future. But at least we need to see the present. And present is what is the most important thing. As we see it, it is a present that defines everything. With regard to, I don't want, probably will not repeat everything that has been said so far about markets, about economy, about various aspects. There are no point, in repeating a lot of that. But there are a few areas that I would like to touch base, which probably may bring some light on few other areas and the other sectors or the other asset class that you were mentioning about, Mr. Jindal. I would just like to take my first thing is, as Mr. Somaya was saying, that last 45 days to 60 days have really been an eye opener with regard to the number of new customers and number of new investors who are entering in the capital market. That in fact has been an enlightening experience. And I would like to say that market which has been more if I see it currently playing between the rally of the global market versus the expectations that what will happen between the government stimulus and those areas, it is the financialization of savings, which is what is in last 45 to 60 days is the focus is coming into. That is what the participation that we are looking at, where either because of the digital, because of the technology, the reach has now gone to the level that has never seen before, to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And in addition to that, there has been technology, there is a reach, there is an awareness. All those things are positively contributing to the to the overall market participation in these difficult times. That is on the positive side. However, there are still the challenges, and there are two larger challenges that I would like to just highlight, which hopefully in times to come we probably should be able to address. And once we come out and the dust settles, we probably will be a much better country, much better economy, and much better human being. And that is probably the most important part. The first thing is that everybody says that what should be the response. We keep hearing that every time that US has done this, UK has done this, what India is going to do, and we did get some estimate on some losses that we may have on our GDP. On the back of the envelope calculations would be around 200-300 billion dollar. I think completely agree that this is probably no crisis should go waste. People should take care of the health, but along with health, the wealth creation has to happen. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of wealth destruction which has happened over last either 60 days or before that. And it just reminds me of something that happened post World War II in US, where Franklin Roosevelt did after the World War II, where it was a relief, recovery, and reforms. That was like a carpet bombing, if I say, that actually turned that country around. After that, there was no looking back by US when it got relief, reforms, and and recovery. As Mr. Shah rightly said, it's about something that we should take advantage from sentiments of China. So if we combine the sentiments with regard to China that world has, the opportunity that we provide, and the response that we may probably mirror some of that happened in the past, tested and tried and worked. I truly believe that we still, and I know we don't talk about it anymore, at least for last couple of months. Up until January, sometime the $5 trillion economy was all over. We have been little silent on that, and I truly believe that once we are through all this, it's this crisis and how we are coming out of it is going to determine the way forward. We are seeing this with our customer base. We are seeing it in the broking industry. We are seeing it in the overall financial sector. Needless to say, however, and I think Mr. Jindal, you did touch base upon some of the setback that has happened in the other asset classes. I think this financial system is all about efficiency, transparency, stability, and inclusion. These would be the 4 pillars of any financial system. While our real economy, through these measures between monetary and fiscal, that will take care of the economy coming around, either a V or L. That will be the function of the chart that Mr. Shah showed. But I think what we, as each individual, as professional, and as a member of this community society, needs to focus upon is how these 4 pillars of financial system can be strengthened. Because while the focus on the foreign money, either is FDI and FPIs, and those money are very important and is obviously showcase and demonstrate our strength in the world economy, I truly believe that is the financializations of the savings of this country, which is the key pillar of how this country's fabric and construct gets strengthened as we go forward. And no crisis should go waste, as you already said. So this is the time, as we look forward, that what are we doing in each of those areas? What is the proposition and the position that we have at the ground level, at tier 3, tier 4, tier 5? Like we are present in almost 3,000 locations, and when I talk and hear to those people, I would be honest with you that there are concerns, there are issues. As much as we are very bullish on the way forward.
Sorry for interrupting. Can you be precise, please, so that we can take question answer?
Yeah. So what is that, sir? Yeah.
Can you be a little precise? We can take question answer.
Yep. So the key there is, the key, if I have to summarize this this whole thing, is that we need some reforms and steps for increasing the financialization and the penetrations of our savings. We need to have a little long-term view. But however, we need to work on each pillars of the financial system to ensure that the inclusion across the Bharat is as strong as the foreign money, and these 2 pillars then will take our country forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your perception. And now I request Mr. Subhash Agarwal to share his perception about the current situation in the industry. Subhash ji.
Good evening, everyone. I was listening to all the speakers. They have shared their views. Actually, this time this is a coronavirus period, and things are not as good as it used to be. Our stocks gone down 30% from February to March, and now it is in April, May, a little bit recovering. And you see the status of the mutual fund industry, the AUM is around 24 trillion Indian rupees, which the mutual fund industry history, if you see, the first mutual fund has been started in 1963, UTI, and up to 87, no, up to until 8 players promoted by banks came, and now it is 44 mutual fund AMC company, you can say. Mutual fund is very important for the economy, for the financial services sector, and it's are playing a very great role. If you see 10 years back, if FPI are used to sell certain shares, certain nobody market goes down, nobody was there to counter it, and mutual had played a very big role to counter FPIs who are playing a big role in the equity market. So equally they are playing a big role. And if you see,
I have a question for you.
Yeah,
ये बता दीजिए मुझे, आपका व्यापार बढ़ रहा है, आपका क्लाइंट बेस बढ़ रहा है कि नहीं पिछले महीने में और इस महीने में, मार्च और अप्रैल में?
या मार्च अप्रैल में हमारा अनप्रेसिडेंटेड नंबर ऑफ इन्वेस्टर बढ़े हैं, ब्रोकरेज बढ़ी है, एंड थिंग्स आर बेटर इन ब्रोकिंग.
कोई पैनिक की बात तो नहीं है?
नहीं, it is positive rather, you can say. But in other verticals like investment banking, NBFC, wealth management, insurance, distribution, it is not as good.
हाँ, तो वो उनका
That's
अलग से
very
जब
normal.
कॉन्फ्रेंस होगा उसमें म्यूचुअल फंड का बता दो.
हाँ जी, but in equity it is better. Equity it is better, brokerage side.
डेट में फिक्स्ड
That
इनकम
में फिक्स इनकम में not good. Deals are very less.
तो सब लोगों का झुकाव इक्विटी की तरफ आ गया है.
हाँ, इक्विटी की तरफ आ गया है. After this Franklin Templeton fiasco, investor money has been stuck and confidence level has been reduced.
कल्पेन जी, आप फिक्स्ड इनकम देखते हैं? कल्पेन जी, आप फिक्स्ड इनकम देखते हैं?
Yes sir, बिल्कुल. So 50% of our assets are fixed.
What is your take on fixed income?
मेरा टेक सर ये है कि जब भी कोई एक्सीडेंट होता है किसी भी कंपनी में या किसी भी प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी में, एक टेम्पररी रिएक्शन होता है डर का, एंड पीपल फील दैट दिस इज नॉट द राइट प्रोडक्ट और द राइट सेगमेंट. But you know, again, over 20 years, we have seen that personally, I have been an investor in fixed income for 22 years now. I did my first investment in a debt mutual fund in 1998-99, and that investment also till date has generated roughly 10.2% tax-free returns. With in इस 21 साल की जर्नी में 3-4 बार जैसे अभी क्रेडिट में इवेंट हुआ है या कभी इंटरेस्ट रेट का इवेंट होता है, तो ऐसे टेम्पररी इवेंट्स होते हैं जिससे डर लगता है, लेकिन अगर आप इसको इग्नोर कर दो तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. आई हैव बीन टेलिंग ऑल माय फ्रेंड्स एंड ऑल माय इन्वेस्टर्स दैट दिस इज अ लोकलाइज्ड इवेंट विद वन एंटिटी फॉर सम टाइम, एंड दिस इज आल्सो अ लोकलाइज्ड इवेंट फ्रॉम अ टाइम होराइजन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. और अगर अभी निकल के अभी एग्जिट करके कोई मतलब नहीं है, बिकॉज आपके एनएवी में ऑलरेडी इसका इफेक्ट आ चुका है. जो भी एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, वेदर फ्रैंकलिन हो या कोई भी कैटेगरी, कोई भी फंड हो, सबकी एनएवी में ऑलरेडी करेक्ट हो चुका है. तो अभी इसको बेच के कोई फायदा नहीं है. और दूसरा, डेट मार्केट में 14 लाख करोड़ का जो AUM है इंडस्ट्री में, इसमें से सिर्फ 40,000 करोड़ क्रेडिट फंड्स में है जहां पे ये एक्सीडेंट्स हुए हैं। बाकी के 13.5 लाख करोड़ दे आर इन ब्लू चिप डेट, दे आर इन लार्ज कैप डेट, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के बॉन्ड्स है, पब्लिक सेक्टर के बॉन्ड्स है, जहां पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा। इनफैक्ट इस इवेंट की वजह से कहीं कहीं पे मार्च में इंटरेस्ट रेट थोड़े ऊपर आए थे, तो इन्वेस्टर को एक फायदा मिला अच्छे रेट्स पे अपने पोर्टफोलियो को लॉक करने का। लेकिन तकलीफ ये होती है, हमेशा ये हुआ है, हर 6-7 साल में जहां जहां पे मंदी होती है लोग भाग जाते हैं, और जो छोड़ के भाग जाते हैं रिटर्न्स उनको छोड़ के भाग जाता है। सो वी टेल इन्वेस्टर्स दैट बाजार का स्वभाव है उतार और चढ़ाव, वेदर आप डेट में इन्वेस्ट करो, गोल्ड में करो, रियल एस्टेट में करो या इक्विटी में करो, सिर्फ हमें नहीं पता होता है कि ये कब ऊपर और नीचे जाएगा। तो बाजार के स्वभाव को हमारे स्वभाव में ऐड करके फायदा नहीं है। वी डोंट हैव टू फ्लक्चुएट विद मार्केट्स, so we have to be stable. So I feel a lot of investors have panicked in the credit category, but equally on the other side, in other categories people are fairly confident because they've seen this. ये हर 5-6 साल में एक छोटा एक्सीडेंट होता है, और एक्सीडेंट्स कहाँ नहीं होते। इन्वेस्टमेंट इज नेवर अ स्ट्रेट लाइन, बिकॉज इफ यू वांट स्ट्रेट लाइन रिटर्न्स देन सेविंग्स अकाउंट है हमारे लिए, 3-4% स्ट्रेट लाइन रिटर्न हम सबको मिल जाता है। बट ये 3-4% से अगर हमको 6 या 7 या 8 पे जाना है, तो वी हैव टू live through these fluctuations and make it as a part of our journey and ignore them when they happen. If you need money right now then bad luck, but बहुत कम इन्वेस्टर होते हैं जिनको एक्सीडेंट के टाइम पे पैसे की जरूरत होती है। So I think even these events will pass, these times will also pass, good times also go away, bad times also go away. So I think we have to just stay balanced and not overreact. Like I said, और यही मैसेज मैं अपने आप को दिन रात जब भी टाइम मिलता है ये बोलता हूँ कि खुद के लिए मास्क पहनना बहुत मुश्किल होता है क्योंकि आदत नहीं है। अपने पोर्टफोलियो के लिए जो आंख पे मास्क लगाने की जरूरत है और कान पे मास्क लगाने की जरूरत है, उसकी भी हमें आदत नहीं है। तो जितना जल्दी हम वो सीख जाएंगे उतना हमारे पोर्टफोलियो का बढ़ाव अच्छी तरह से होगा।
थैंक यू नीलेश भाई, वेलकम बैक। मिस्टर कल्पेन जो बात कर रहे हैं, इनकी शक्ल से जो अनुमान होता है उम्र का, ये उससे ऊपर की बातें कर रहे हैं। मैच्योरिटी कहीं ज्यादा है इनकी बातों में। फिर मैंने पूछ लिया इनको कितना साल का अनुभव इनको मार्केट का है, तो ही टोल्ड मी मोर देन 20 इयर्स। तो वहां से मेरे को वो बात जम जाती है। 265 participants.
Lot of things that I talk is what I have learned from Nilesh bhai. If you had not called anyone of us outside, would have been okay.
गुरु हैं, और कभी क्रिकेट सीखना तो भी सीख सकते हैं।
Maybe there I can.
हम 6 जने हैं यहाँ पर, सबको 20 से 25 साल का अनुभव है। आपको 25 साल का अनुभव है। मैंने 1990 में पहला इन्वेस्टमेंट कंपनी के लिए किया था म्यूचुअल फंड में, तो मुझे 30 साल हो गए म्यूचुअल फंड को यूज करते हुए, और मेरे अनुभव बहुत अच्छे रहे कुल मिलाकर के। लेकिन इस तरह की चीजें बीच में रही हैं, बट ऐसा कभी नहीं हुआ कि म्यूचुअल फंड से मुझे खराब लगा हो कि ये तो खराब चीज है। तो वो ओवर दिस 30 इयर्स सब चीजें आयरन आउट हो गई। तो इंडस्ट्री, प्रोडक्ट, सब चीजें बहुत अच्छी हैं, लेकिन ऐसा लगता है कि अभी कुछ प्रोडक्ट में कोई इनोवेशन करने का जरूरत है। कोई ऐसा चीज जो, जैसे अभी आपने डेट मार्केट में देखा, लोगों ने पैनिक महसूस किया और पैनिकली बिहेव भी किया रिडम्पशंस वगैरह को लेकर के। तो क्या कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स में कुछ चेंज करने की जरूरत है? नीलेश भाई आप सुन पा रहे हैं? जी
मैं कुछ ड्रॉ कर रहा था।
नीलेश भाई आप कोई
इन्वेस्टर को ये चाहिए
जी,
अपसाइड पूरे पूरी एंड डाउनसाइड जरा भी नहीं। हम ये देते हैं अपसाइड पूरे पूरी, डाउनसाइड भी पूरे पूरी, और या हम ये दे सकते हैं कि एक स्ट्रेट लाइन जैसा रिटर्न बने। अपसाइड में भी पार्टिसिपेशन कम होगा, डाउनसाइड में भी कम होगा, बट एक छोटी सी रेंज बनेगी। मे बी मतलब इसको अगर और अच्छी तरह से कर दे तो शायद इस तरह बनेगा, छोटा सा रेंज। नाउ ये टाइप का प्रोडक्ट जो हर इन्वेस्टर को चाहिए वो कोई फंड मैनेजर बना नहीं पाएगा। और ये टाइप का प्रोडक्ट हर फंड मैनेजर बना लेता है, कोई अच्छा करता है कोई बुरा करता है, बट दिस इज व्हाट इज पॉसिबल। पूरा अपसाइड आपका, पूरा डाउनसाइड आपका, हम अपनी फीस ले लेंगे। और ये जो एब्सोल्यूट रिटर्न प्रोडक्ट है, अगर वो करने जाएंगे तो अपसाइड में भी बहुत ज्यादा पार्टिसिपेशन नहीं मिलेगा, डाउनसाइड में भी बहुत ज्यादा पार्टिसिपेशन नहीं मिलेगा। तो समवेयर हाउ डू वी रिकंसाइल इन्वेस्टर्स एक्सपेक्टेशंस वर्सेस फंड मैनेजर्स एबिलिटी? एंड यहाँ पे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल अदा करता है। He can tell how much you should invest in equity, how much you should invest in debt, how much in gold, how much in real estate. The problem ये है कि बहुत सारे इन्वेस्टर अपने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर के साथ इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर नहीं करते। डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर आपका डॉक्टर के बराबर है। अब आप उसके पास जाएंगे और आप उसके साथ अपनी प्रॉब्लम शेयर नहीं करेंगे, पूरा पोर्टफोलियो शेयर नहीं करेंगे, तो वो आपको क्या सोल्यूशन दे पाएगा? So somewhere through asset allocation, we will be able to create products or portfolios which will give limited upside, limited downside, or full upside, full downside. That's how we will be able to reconcile investors' expectation with products' capability.
I totally agree with you, नीलेश भाई। एक चीज मुझे बताएं, ऑफ द कफ आइडिया है, क्या एम्फी ऐसा कर सकता है कि जितने भी एक्सट्रीम केसेस हुए हैं पिछले 20-30 साल में, 5-6 केसेस हुए होंगे, 5-6 इंसिडेंसेस हुए होंगे, उनको एक पेपर पे लिख ले और वो पेपर इन्वेस्टर के साथ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर के थ्रू शेयर जरूर करा दे कि देख लो तुम, ये एक्सट्रीम केसेस भी हुए हैं। वो ये ना समझे कि एक्सट्रीम केसेस होते ही नहीं है।
Yes.
उसके बाद भी वो क्या कर... जी,
ये सजेशन बहुत अच्छा है। एंड इनफैक्ट कल्पेन के फंड हाउस ने ये चालू भी किया है कि हमारे फंड में सबसे मैक्सिमम नेगेटिव रिटर्न इतना है और इतने सालों में। तो ये सजेशन डेफिनेटली अच्छा है, बिकॉज पिछले जो एक्सीडेंट हुए हैं या जो एनएवी में ड्रॉप हुए हैं वो लोगों के सामने रखना बहुत जरूरी है, ताकि उनकी एक्सपेक्टेशन सही तरीके से सेट हो और फिर उन्हें धक्का नहीं लगे।
जी, एक तरफ वो चाहता है कि उसको 2% ज्यादा चाहिए मार्केट से, दूसरी तरफ वो चाहता है मैं रिस्क भी नहीं लूंगा। वो दोनों चीजें इकट्ठे हो नहीं सकती। तो वहां पर उसको पहले ही माइंडसेट हो जाए कि अगर 2% ज्यादा लेना है तो 2% कम के लिए भी तैयार रहना पड़ेगा। मुझे ये जो आपने मार्केट में देखा पिछले 6 हफ्तों में या 4 हफ्तों में, और ये खास तौर से एफटी इंसिडेंट्स के बाद, आपको ये कुछ ओवर रिएक्शन लगता है इंडस्ट्री का?
नहीं, थर्सडे को एफटी ने ये अनाउंसमेंट की और फ्राइडे और मंडे को हमें रिडम्पशन काफी जोर से आया, बट बाय द टाइम नेक्स्ट थर्सडे आ गया 1 मई के पहले वाले दिन, तब तक प्रेशर काफी कम हो गया था। एंड देयर इज ऑलमोस्ट 81% ड्रॉप इन क्रेडिट रिस्क फंड रिडम्पशंस। एंड आज ये पूरा वीक तो काफी रीजनेबल निकला है, नॉर्मल रिडम्पशन जरूर आए हैं, बट ओवरऑल क्रेडिट फंड में एक्चुअली अभी छोटा मोटा फ्लो आना भी चालू हो गया। एंड मेरे को लगता है कि कंपेयर टू लास्ट मंथ अप्रैल, जहां पे क्रेडिट रिस्क फंड में कुल मिला के 19,000 करोड़ का रिडम्पशन हुआ, इस महीने हो सकता है 2-2.5 हजार करोड़ के ऊपर रिडम्पशन नहीं आए।
और नया इन्वेस्टमेंट आप देख रहे हैं आते हुए?
एक बहुत धीरे तरीके से चालू हुआ है। कुछ स्मार्ट इन्वेस्टर्स हैं जो ये लेवल पे निवेश कर रहे हैं, बट इट इज नॉट अ बिग ट्रेंड, इट इज स्मॉल टिकल।
जो इकोनॉमी में
नीलेश जी, कैन के क्वेश्चन?
जी प्लीज।
ये जैसे ईटीएफ यूएस वगैरह के अंदर अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस कर रहे हैं और वहाँ पे ज्यादातर इन्वेस्टमेंट ईटीएफ में हो रहा है, और इंडिया में भी ये ट्रेंड चालू हुआ है, और देख रहे हैं कि जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड इतनी अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस नहीं दे पा रहे, जो कि बेंचमार्क को ज्यादातर मोर देन 50% स्कीम्स जो बेंचमार्क निफ्टी या सेंसेक्स को बीट नहीं कर पा रहा है। तो आप डोंट यू थिंक देयर विल बी टाइम कि people will start thinking why we should go for mutual fund when ETF is available, where charges are very, very less. So this is a big challenge for the mutual fund industry to have so much staff, employees.
Undoubtedly, we have to add value to our customer. If I'm not able to deliver better than index return, why will someone keep me? And fortunately, at least I can talk about three of us, me, Kalpan and Ashish. In this correction, all of our funds have outperformed benchmark indices by a significant margin. हमारे मिड कैप फंड में हम कुछ 7-8-9% अल्फा जनरेट कर रहे हैं. मल्टी कैप फंड में 3 से 5% अल्फा है और लार्ज कैप में 1 से 2% अल्फा है. So most of the equity funds now are already outperforming their benchmark indices by a margin, and obviously investor will only give money to active fund managers if we are able to add value. जिस दिन वैल्यू डालना बंद कर दिया, वैल्यू देना बंद कर दिया, they will all shift to low cost index funds. So वो reality पे ही हमें काम करना है. I can't take it that this is my birthright to manage your money. You will give me money only if I give performance.
जी, यहाँ से आगे नीलेश भाई, हाउ डू वी अप्रोच द मार्केट नाउ? इतना कुछ हो गया 1.5 साल के अंदर, वो ILFS से लेकर के और कितने सारे इंसिडेंसेस इकट्ठे एक के बाद एक हो गए हैं. हाउ शुड वन अप्रोच नाउ फ्रॉम हियर ऑनवर्ड्स?
सर अगर मार्केट को देखे तो एटलीस्ट इन द नियर टर्म मार्केट ऐसे पेंडुलम जैसा चले वैसा लगता है. अच्छा फिस्कल स्टिमुलस आएगा, मार्केट ऊपर.
ये आपने जो बैक ऑफ द एनवेलप किया है,
हाँ,
फ्रंट ऑफ द एनवेलप में मैंने कभी कुछ आपसे नहीं देखा कुछ किया हो आपने. उसको कैसे यूज करते हैं आप?
सर मतलब इतने सारे वेबिनार कर रहे हैं.
जब से मैं आपको जानता हूं हमेशा बैक ऑफ द एनवेलप कैलकुलेशन करते हैं.
सर फ्रंट फुट से अच्छा बैक फुट में खेले तो विकेट बचती रहती है.
बताइए.
तो मार्केट पेंडुलम की तरह होगा. अच्छा फिस्कल स्टिमुलस, ऑन दैट न्यूज मार्केट विल गो अप. अच्छा मॉनेटरी स्टिमुलस वर्किंग ऑन ग्राउंड, मार्केट विल गो अप. मेडिकल ब्रेक थ्रू मिला, 100% मार्केट विल गो अप. नंबर ऑफ डेथ केसेस या इन्फेक्टेड केसेस रिड्यूस, market will go up. In absence of all this news, markets will go down. So right now market will be in pendulum, and ये पूरे वीक में हमने देखा 2 दिन मार्केट ऊपर 2 दिन नीचे. But what is important for us is कि we are buying today at roughly about 54-55% market cap to GDP ratio. Bottom में ये 43% market cap to GDP ratio बना था. And historical average 77% के आसपास है. So 77 के सामने 55 पे लेने में सेंस बनती है. Obviously 43% पहुंचे तो और अच्छा है. तो our view is that market will be a pendulum, and this is the opportunity to buy quality stocks. इसमें एक ध्यान रखना है कि you should only invest in those companies who will survive the downturn. अगर ये डाउनटर्न में कंपनी मर गई तो शेयर होल्डर की तो बैंड बचेगी. So you have to invest only in those companies which you are 100% sure that they will survive the downturn and will be there when the upturn comes. Now, which are the companies which will survive? Any company who is not leveraged have better ability to survive. We saw Hindustan Lever block being offered. Suddenly $4 billion की demand आ गई. The same way, good quality stocks where people are sure that these companies will survive, there is enough demand. So buy companies at your prices, averaging into the market when it is swinging between hope and fear, and build a good quality portfolio. Like in 2008, buying at bottom made sense for investors. 2021-22 will be same.
आप गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कोई कमी महसूस करते हैं कि गवर्नमेंट को कोई सपोर्ट ज्यादा करना चाहिए था या कोई कमी रह गई या डिले हो गया?
सर अभी मतलब एक है कि आप रोहित शर्मा की तरह बैटिंग करे, हर बॉल पे चौके छक्के मारे. दूसरा है धोनी की तरह बैटिंग करे कि मुझे मालूम है आस्किंग रन रेट क्या है, पहले 1-2 रन लेता हूँ, पिच पे सेट हो जाता हूँ, एंड अभी आज ही उन्होंने अनाउंस किया कि जब मैं बैटिंग करने जाता हूं तो पहले 5-10 बॉल मेरे हार्ट की रेट बढ़ जाती है. Now we thought he was always Mr. Cool, and he also had palpitations for facing first 5-10 balls. So we have to trust our player. They will know when to accelerate, and monetary stimulus is already working. 8,40,000 crore liquidity given, policy rates cut, 10-year yield brought below 6%. Now on fiscal side, we need some support. Maybe instead of speed, they are focusing on accuracy. They are consulting with lot many people, and then they are trying to arrive at a solution which is optimum. Unlike other Western world, we have a problem of our rating agency. Italy has 2 times more debt to GDP ratio than India. But rating agencies have given them 3-year moratorium to spend on COVID-19. अपने तो यहाँ एक्सपेंडिचर का ई नहीं बोलेंगे, उससे पहले वो हमें डाउनग्रेड कर देंगे. So we have to balance rating agencies, we have to balance limited kitty which we have, we have to balance people which are in need. So instead of speed, I think accuracy is driving the government, and which is why there is little bit delay in giving fiscal stimulus.
मुझे म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री जी सुभाष जी बताइए.
वन मोर क्वेश्चन. Nilesh ji, as on today 25 trillion AUM is there with mutual fund. What do you think when we will achieve 100 trillion AUM? How much time it will take?
बस ये कहना मुश्किल है कि कैसे पहुंचेंगे और कब पहुंचेंगे, बिकॉज जब आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर मैं, कल्पन और आशीष तीनों एक ही ऑफिस में काम करते थे बेलाड एस्टेट में. एंड अगर कोई 5 करोड़ 10 करोड़ का चेक देता था तो हम लोग सेलिब्रेट करते थे. उस टाइम पे कभी सोचा नहीं था कि 50 करोड़ 100 करोड़ का चेक आएगा. फिर 50-100 करोड़ के चेक दिखने लगे, तब सेलिब्रेट किया. नाउ आई थिंक इफ यू फोकस ऑन पॉकेट शेयर तो सक्सेस इज डिफिकल्ट. इफ आई फोकस ऑन माइंड शेयर वेयर माय कस्टमर्स ट्रस्ट मी, then the journey will become much faster. As mutual fund industry, we have to focus on regaining customer trust, confidence, and their mind share. Then the pocket share will automatically flow. आज $2 trillion का गोल्ड पड़ा है, probably 25 लाख करोड़ से ज्यादा सेविंग्स अकाउंट में पड़ा है जो 2.5%, 3%, 3.25% ब्याज देता है. मुझे तो वहीं से पैसा यहाँ पे शिफ्ट करना है. But my product should be better and as convenient as those products, then only I will get that money. So how do I create product which will outperform gold? How do I create product which will outperform savings bank account? How do I create convenience so that person just swipes on his mobile phone and he gets into mutual fund, and swipes back and he gets out of mutual fund? Something like this we have to create. We have to learn from Alipay, which ended up becoming, I think, world's largest money market fund in just about few years of its launch. So it's all about our product, value add and services. फिर कोई भी टारगेट आप रखो, सब अचीव हो जाएगा.
मैं अपना अनुभव,
as government is saying they will attain 5 trillion economy by 2024. So in this way you can predict or you can vision, you should have a vision. Mutual fund industry should have a vision for that.
सुभाष जी,
मेरा विजन नंबर कस्टमर्स में है. See, I have to get as many customers as possible, and I have to get as much trust as possible. Number of customer into highest level of trust, then any number is achievable.
We totally agree. Nilesh ji, 200.
Ashish can share, Jindal ji, 1 minute. Ashish and Kalpan can share their beginning of journey. कि कई जगह से उनको निकाला जाता था जब बोलते थे कि हम लोग म्यूचुअल फंड बेचने आए. राइट कल्पन, इन 96-97 पोस्ट मॉर्गन स्टैनली डेज. Why don't you share those experiences and now where have you reached?
तभी क्या था कि एफडी से पैसा लेने के लिए जब हम जाते थे कि म्यूचुअल फंड इज अ बेटर ऑप्शन, वी वर थ्रोन आउट. टुडे द इवोल्यूशन ऐसा हुआ है कि लोग ये पूछ रहे हैं कि क्या हम यूएस के म्यूचुअल फंड में भी पैसा लगाए कि नहीं. तो जो इन्वेस्टर इंडिया के म्यूचुअल फंड में 20 साल पहले लगाने के लिए तैयार नहीं था, आज बोला कि मुझे यूएस के म्यूचुअल फंड में पैसा लगाना है। तो एक जर्नी चेंज
जी
हुआ
जी
है। बट जो हमने सीखा है नीलेश के साथ भी काम करके, वो ये है कि हमारा फोकस होना चाहिए कि कस्टमर की वेल्थ को कैसे बढ़ाए। फिर म्यूचुअल फंड का AUM 50 ट्रिलियन हो या 2 ट्रिलियन हो, मैंने फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। हमारा उद्देश्य ये है कि हमारी इन्वेस्टर्स को हम अमीर बनाए और उनके लिए सही तरह से उनको गाइड करके आगे लेके जाए। साइज रेलेवेंट नहीं है, रिटर्न ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। और अगर रिटर्न ठीक ठाक होगा तो उसी के कंपाउंडिंग से AUM बढ़ेगा। आज ये 25 लाख करोड़ पे अगर आप 8% का भी कंपाउंडिंग ले लो, 6% डेट से और 10% इक्विटी से, तो हर 9 साल में ये डबल हो जाता है। तो नया पैसा आए या ना आए, तो शायद 15 साल में अपने आप डबल हो जाएगा, 4 गुना हो जाएगा। और अगर रिटर्न अच्छा होगा तो नया पैसा आते रहेगा।
जी, बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं। आशीष जी, आप कुछ ऐड करना चाहते हैं? फिर मैं अपना एक अनुभव शेयर करना चाहता हूँ।
No, sir, please go ahead.
मुझे 30 साल हुए इस इंडस्ट्री में इन्वेस्ट करते हुए। मैंने भी समय के साथ देखा, जैसे जैसे इसके अंदर सिस्टम्स बने, जैसे जैसे इसके अंदर रोबस्टनेस आई सिस्टम के अंदर, और ये AUM उसी स्पीड से बढ़ने लग गया। जब तक इसमें रोबस्टनेस नहीं थी सिस्टम में, तब तक इसमें पैसा नहीं आता था। और जैसे जैसे सेबी ने नए नए रूल लगाए, AMC को लगता था बहुत मुश्किल बढ़ेगी, लेकिन उसका फायदा AMC को ये होता था कि उसके AUM बढ़ते जाते थे। 2000 में जब मैंने शुरू किया तो सिर्फ 50,000 करोड़ का AUM था 2000 में, और आज 25 लाख करोड़ का है 2020 में। ये मेरे सामने सामने ग्रो हुआ 50,000 करोड़ से और 25 लाख करोड़ तक। अब थोड़ा सा समय बचा है। नीलेश जी और 265 लोग हैं हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए। मैं चाहता हूं कि अगर आप उनको बता सकें कि यहाँ से आगे उनका एलोकेशन इन्वेस्टमेंट का अगर आप उनको गाइड कर दें, आप तीनों जने। और उससे पहले मैं चाहूंगा, लव जी, आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप ले लें जल्दी से, और उसके बाद उनको एलोकेशन हम बता सकें। मिस्टर लव चतुर्वेदी, आवाज नहीं आ रहा आपका।
बोलिए बोलिए।
एनी क्वेश्चंस?
नो, आई डोंट हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस। मेरा खाली एक ही है कि जैसा अग्रवाल जी ने पूछा, और यही है कि 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी बनाने के लिए और फाइनेंशियलाइजेशन ऑफ सेविंग्स करने के लिए, जो कि नीलेश जी ने बोला कि कैसे हमारे जो सेविंग्स हैं, जो गोल्ड है, वो कैसे फाइनेंशियल मार्केट में आए, कैसे ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करें, इस तरफ कलेक्टिवली क्या क्या करना चाहिए, क्या लेसन्स लर्न करने चाहिए, और इस क्राइसिस से क्या ऐसा सीखना चाहिए जो हम इसको आगे ले जाकर करें तो वो 100 लाख करोड़ और 5 ट्रिलियन सब रियलिटी बने बेस्ड अपॉन द ट्रस्ट। ये इसका क्या व्यू है? ये मेरा वो था क्वेश्चन।
नीलेश जी
और प्राणेश।
मैं एक कोट करना चाहूंगा अल्बर्ट आइंस्टीन की, इन द मिडल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी लाइज अपॉर्चुनिटी। So in all difficulty there is an opportunity, and that is applicable
जी
to mutual fund industry also.
जी जी, बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं आप। नीलेश जी।
See, if we see from 1980, China has created $12 trillion GDP. We are at 3 trillion. They have outperformed us by 4 times in about 40 years. How did they do that? I mean, they have done thousands of things, but the most important thing was that they invited foreign capital to augment their domestic savings. Our domestic savings is good enough for 6, 7, 8% GDP growth, but we need double-digit GDP growth for decades. That can only happen if we invite foreign capital and augment it with our capital. Now we are a bucket. हम लोग दुनिया भर में जाके पैसा मांग के लेके आते हैं, फिर सोने की आयात में लगा देते हैं. So we are exporter of capital rather than importer of capital. Now if you keep on giving blood donation, how will your health recover? So we must create a mechanism whereby domestic savings and global savings come together to create better investment, which in turn will create better growth. The second one, what China did was amazing execution. मतलब कोविड-19 आया, 17 दिन में हॉस्पिटल खड़ी कर दी। हम लोग यहाँ 45 दिन में हॉस्पिटल का नाम भी तय नहीं कर पाएंगे। How do we move from talking to executing? There are some shining examples like Delhi Metro Rail, because there was Commonwealth Games, Delhi Metro got constructed quickly. Now, could we not copy that on Mumbai Metro? हमारी एक वर्सोवा टू घाटकोपर की मेट्रो थी, उसे कितना समय लगा? Now, इसमें कंस्ट्रक्टर अकेले का दोष नहीं है, दोष is to the entire ecosystem. How do we create an ecosystem which focuses on execution, where Delhi Metro becomes the norm, not the exception? The third thing is that once you have money, once you are focused on execution, we have to create rule of law. Today we have legal system, we have courts, we have judicial system, but the rule of law is missing. आप चेक बाउंसिंग के लिए रूल बनाते हैं, बट आज तक चेक बाउंसिंग के लिए कितने लोग जेल में गए कंपेयर टू द पीपल हु हैव बाउंस्ड द चेक? Now, unless until you have rule of law in letter and spirit, businesses will never come to India comfortably. So we have to create just three things: augment domestic and foreign capital, focus on execution, and create a rule of law. Businessmen feel confident about taking risk.
थैंक यू नीलेश जी। अब वो एलोकेशन जो हमारा हाल है, अगर आप वो अपना परसेप्शन में बता दें, अपना आइडिया में बता दें, अपनी विजडम से, कि अगर शॉर्ट टर्म के इन्वेस्टर हैं, लॉन्ग टर्म, मीडियम टर्म के और लॉन्ग टर्म के, तो उनको किस तरह का एलोकेशन रखना चाहिए यहाँ से आगे? फॉर एग्जाम्पल 1 year, 3 years or 5 years, something like that.
So if you are looking to invest up to 1 year, then your majority investment should be in fixed income, and that also at the shorter end. Liquid fund, short-term bond fund, ये रेंज में प्लस आर्बिट्राज फंड, ये आपके लिए अप टू 1 year होराइजन के लिए ठीक है। 3 साल के होराइजन के लिए यू कैन बी ओवरवेट गोल्ड, यू कैन बी ओवरवेट equity, and you can invest in dynamic bond funds where maturity or lowering of interest rates with higher maturity will give you capital appreciation. If you are looking at 5 year plus horizon, then this is time to be overweight equity and overweight gold and underweight fixed income. 5 साल में equity और gold में fixed income से ज्यादा outperformance आना चाहिए।
जी आशीष जी, आप कुछ ऐड करना चाहेंगे इसमें? आपका क्या व्यू है ये 3 होराइजन्स के ऊपर? अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है, इन्वेस्टर्स को क्या मैसेज देंगे? What is takeaway for them?
I think the key takeaway will be that जैसे ऐसा जब माहौल आता है ना, जब सारे एसेट क्लासेस डिसअपॉइंट करने लगते हैं, जैसे इक्विटी में अभी पिछले महीने 2 महीने से बहुत ही, मतलब पिछले महीने 2 महीने का जो मार्केट का परफॉर्मेंस है, इसकी वजह से पिछले 3-4 साल के रिटर्न भी इट हैज बीन ड्रैग्ड डाउन। सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल थिंक कि 5 साल से रिटर्न नहीं बना है। एक्चुअली दैट्स नॉट ट्रू। द रियलिटी इज दैट आप 5 साल का रिटर्न 15 फरवरी को चेक करते तो ठीक ही लगता, बट मार्च में जब 1 महीने में 30% डिक्लाइन आया है, तो 5 साल का रिटर्न 5 से 6% कंपाउंडेड डिक्लाइन आपको दिखेगा। इट गेट्स ड्रैग्ड डाउन। So what happens is that people get very thoughtful about the asset allocation after the horse has bolted. Meaning, so if we change our allocations now, it will be like bolting the stable door after the horse has already gone. So I would say that this is a time when, if you are reviewing anything, don't do anything basis what has happened in the last 1 or 2 months. That would be reactive in nature. Let me put it in that way. But if I assume that, exactly. So I was just coming to that if I assume that it is only for new investors, then I think this is a fantastic time to start. Anybody who has a 5 year plus kind of time horizon, I would say that they should be maximum in equity. So maybe 70-80% in equity and maybe 20-25% in fixed income. I think within equity, like previously also question was asked, I think the time has come for us to understand that, in any equity portfolio, some 10 to 15% in international exposure seems to be relevant for two reasons. One is that कि जब आप asset allocation करते हैं, तो you need the assets which have low correlation or no correlation. That gives you good diversification. And secondly, you also need currency diversification, because क्योंकि हमारे आम तौर पे हमारी चर्चाओं में ये बहुत आता है that foreigners are investing in India. But we never think why foreigners are investing in India and why Indians should invest outside also. So I think that, anybody with 5-year plus horizon should be 70-80% in equity right now. But they should also have a mix of, global investing. That is how I would put it. And definitely, like Nilesh Bhai said, anything less than 1 year, equity just doesn't make sense.
Kalpen Bhai.
Sir, मेरा ये मानना है कि equity is nothing but running a business and owning a business and taking profits of those business over the next 20-30 years. That's the fundamental objective of equity investing. That if we don't have the courage to run business, we invest in people who are running business and take advantage of that. So I think when markets are down, increase equity, and markets are down by around 20% in the last 1 year. So I would keep easily around 60% in equity today. At the same time, I also know that India as a country always takes 2 steps ahead and 1 step behind. तो हम out of patriotism ये सोचते हैं कि हम 2 स्टेप आगे लेंगे और फिर और 3 आगे लेंगे और 5 आगे लेंगे, लेकिन वो होता नहीं है रियल वर्ल्ड में. रियल वर्ल्ड में उतार चढ़ाव आते रहेगा, गवर्नमेंट्स चेंज होती रहेगी, पॉलिसीज विल कीप doing good or bad. So for such times when we take 2 steps behind, that time equity hurts us. तो उस फेज के लिए 100 में से 30 रुपया डेट में भी होना चाहिए, जो हमें प्रोटेक्ट करेगा जब ऐसे खराब टाइम आएंगे. और तीसरा मेरा ये मानना है कि अगर दुनिया भर में इंटरेस्ट रेट जब 0 पे होने लगते हैं और हर गवर्नमेंट करेंसी प्रिंट करती है, तो पेपर की जो वैल्यू है, स्टॉक्स और बॉन्ड्स बोथ आर पेपर आफ्टर ऑल, उसकी वैल्यू धीरे धीरे कम होते जाती है. तो अगर ये मिसबिहेवियर ऑफ सेंट्रल बैंक्स जो हो रहा है हर देश में, अगर ये और चलता रहा, तो ऐसे माहौल में एक ही एसेट है जिसमें आप मैनिपुलेशन नहीं कर सकते हो, जो 3000 साल से चला है, जिसका नाम है गोल्ड. आज तक मैंने गोल्ड में कभी पैसा नहीं लगाया था, एक्सेप्ट ड्यूरिंग शादी के लिए जो एक रिंग थी, वो ही मेरा टोटल गोल्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट था. बट पिछले 2-3 साल से ये समझ आ गया कि ये मार्केट पूरा काफी मैनिपुलेशन भी हो रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ money printing and all. So one should have a higher exposure to gold if we don't own it otherwise. So I would try to keep it at 60 in equity, 25 in debt, or maybe 50 in equity, 30 in debt, and 20 in gold. And within that 15 equity, like Ashish said, I believe some of the best run companies of the world are not in India but outside India. So I don't mind owning them rather than owning only in India. So some exposure should be to global companies through global mutual funds, US mutual funds, just that they are at their lifetime high right now. So I would not say that look at their past returns and jump in. Do a SIP over the next 5 years to acquire a US portfolio. India का portfolio तो हम सबके पास है, और फिर debt और gold, ये चारों का combination cricket की team बनाना जरूरी है, not just having one style of player.
S&P इंडेक्स, उसके बारे में क्या ख्याल है?
तो मेरा ये मानना है, जैसे बताया मैंने कि पिछले 10 साल में, अगर आप पिछले 20 साल की हिस्ट्री देखेंगे सर, तो पहले 10 साल में इंडिया ने S&P को दूर दूर तक हरा दिया था. मतलब वो दिखने में ही नहीं आता था, इंडिया इतना आगे चला गया था. इमर्जिंग मार्केट रिटर्न्स वर ऑलमोस्ट 20% एंड यूएस रिटर्न्स वर ऑलमोस्ट 0. अब उसके 10 साल बाद 2010 से आज तक इंडिया का डॉलर रिटर्न 0 है और S&P का डॉलर रिटर्न 11 है. तो आज मन करता है कि S&P में ज्यादा पैसा लगा दो. अब who knows, next 10 years again could be the decade of India and emerging markets. So ये सब प्रेडिक्ट करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, इसीलिए दोनों का एक्सपोजर जरूरी है पोर्टफोलियो में. और मेरा थंब रूल ये है कि जो एसेट क्लास खराब रिटर्न दे रहा हो, मैं उसमें और पानी डालूंगा, उसको मैं और स्ट्रेंथन करूंगा अपना पैसा लगा के, क्योंकि ऑल दीज आर रिवर्जन टू मीन ट्रेड्स. सो आज इंडिया ने खराब किया है तो आई विल हैव मोर ऑफ इंडिया एंड लेस ऑफ S&P. When India does too well, I will have more of S&P in the incremental allocation. So I think that's the way I will try to invest.
नीलेश भाई, गोल्ड पे आपका क्या व्यू है?
This is the time to be overweight gold, as Kalpen mentioned. जनरली जब इंटरेस्ट रेट बहुत लो होता है और लिक्विडिटी बहुत हाई होती है, गोल्ड प्राइसेस अच्छा करते हैं। हमने 2008 से 2011 के बीच में वैसे ही देखा, 2020 के आगे की कंडीशन भी वैसी ही होगी। और गोल्ड जो बहुत बड़ा हो सकता है वो आज 1900 में चाइना का केस चल रहा है कोविड-19 के लिए, उसका
जी
ट्रिलियन डॉलर एफएक्स रिजर्व्स डॉलर येन यूरो में पड़ा है। अगर किसी भी
जी
देश के जज ने ये ऑर्डर दे दिया कि भाई इसकी प्रॉपर्टी सीज करो और कोविड-19 के खर्चे में लगा दो, तो चाइना की तो काफी हालत खस्ता होगी। Now, whether this happens or doesn't happen, the mere fear that this can happen can push China to diversify their reserves from hard currencies to assets like gold. If China puts some of its FX reserves, 3 trillion plus, gold prices can be very good return. So anyway, fundamentally, gold looks like a good buy based on low interest rates and high liquidity. And सोने पे सुहागा होगा अगर चाइना गोल्ड खरीदने आ जाए।
और नीलेश भाई, आपका क्या व्यू है जो सैमसंग वाला इंसिडेंस था, जो आपने बताया कि वो वियतनाम में गए और उन्होंने उनका इकोनॉमी को कहां से कहां लेके चले गए और 28% उनका जीडीपी में कंट्रीब्यूशन सैमसंग का है। हिंदुस्तान में ऐसे एग्जांपल होने की क्या संभावना है, क्या चांसेस हैं?
मतलब हमने सुजुकी के साथ तो वो करके दिखाया। टुडे auto component and auto financing is roughly about 40 to 50% of manufacturing GDP. India started making assembling motor cars first in Asia, Uttar West Bengal. बट जो गाड़ी हमने 1940 में बनाई वही 1980 में बना रहे थे, कोई मॉडल चेंज ही नहीं हुआ। When Maruti came, they brought in Japanese quality, Japanese model. They brought auto component makers from Japan. They taught us quality. They created economies of scale. They introduced car financing. Essentially, car moved from being super luxury to necessary and comfort for many people. And today, we are top 5 car markets in the world. We export motor cars to all parts of the world. Two-wheelers are exported all over the world. And we have $14 billion trade surplus in auto sector, auto components and other things. So what we have done with Suzuki is comparable to what Vietnam has done with Samsung. But we have to replicate Suzuki in textiles, chemicals, engineering, defense, soft toys, garments, and so on and so forth.
जो पिच वियतनाम ने सैमसंग को दिया है खेलने के लिए, क्या ऐसी पिच हमारे पास देश में है?
सुजुकी को तो मिली और उन्होंने उसका पूरा
वो इकोसिस्टम, वो
यूटिलाइजेशन
एनवायरनमेंट देश में है?
बनाना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा बहुत थोड़ा है। मैंने आज यूपी में हमने देखा कि सारे लेबर लॉज सस्पेंड हो गए।
जी,
तो मतलब इट्स नॉट दैट वी आर अ परफेक्ट नेशन, बट वी हैव टू हैव दैट डायरेक्शन इन आवर माइंड।
जी, एक लास्ट चीज, टाइम हो गया, हम थोड़ा सा आगे भी निकल गए, लेकिन एक लास्ट चीज है, मिस्टर कुरियन जो आपके प्रेडिसेसर थे एमफी में, मेरी रिक्वेस्ट पे आज वो इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में वेबिनार में साथ में हैं। मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है कि अगर आप उन्हें हाय कर दें तो।
हेलो मिस्टर, हाउ आर यू?
Hello.
Mr. Kurian is a wonderful person, and for last 20 years he has been so kind to me, and I really appreciate the kind of wisdom, knowledge, experience, exposure he had. So he brought mutual fund to very near to my heart. And in the end, friends, Nilesh Saab, thank you very much for agreeing and bringing your team also and sharing this moment, your wisdom, your time with us. We are indebted to you for your kind sharing of time with us. Thanks a lot. And good evening and have a good evening to all
Thank
of you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.